Hey, welcome back to Beer Geek Beer Reviews. And today, as you can see, this is a Rebel IPA from the Boston Beer Company. This Samuel Adams brand line IPA. Let me cut this in half. This is going to be kind of like a two-parter, kind of like a one review, beer review. I've got new information for you. I've got a new beer for you. Because, yes, it is going to be a Rebel IPA from Sam Adams Review. But today, boom! I have the newly released Rebel IPA. This is a brand new recipe. It's been reiterated. It is this beer here, but it is this beer here. Today, I'm going to give you this beer here, but I'm going to also do a comparison view with this beer here. This is the original Rebel IPA. This is the newly revamped, newly released Rebel IPA. So, with that said, let's go ahead and bust open both beers and let's go ahead and take a look, shall we? Alright, so with that, I'm going to do the new Rebel here in said glass. I'm going to do this Rebel here in said glass. So let's go ahead and pop them open and take a look and see if they are more alike than what we know. I have the new information up here on the side because they've been making a big deal out of this beer here. This being the original, loads of smoke, shall we say, I'm going to pour it here. Whoa. Head on that beer is fan-freaking-tastic. I still have just a hair in there. I'll wait. And we're going to go over some of the information on this beer here. I have went ahead and poured it all out. The head retention on that is pretty good. Carbonation is mediocre to nil to nothing. But let me go ahead and read you some of the newer information here. It says, because of this, new about the Rebel Reborn. It says, so what has changed? Paying homage to the original recipe of the Rebel IPA is brewed with a few of the original hop varieties, including Cascade, Centennial, Simcoe, and Chinook. For the 2017 release, this beer here, the brewers added Mosaic hops along with HBC 566, a new hop proprietary to the Sam Adams brand line, and HBC 682, a new experimental bittering hop. And they go on to say, Project Lupulus refers to the scientific name of hops, Humulus lupulus, and its specific lupian glands, which are a fundamental source of flavor and bitterness and aroma in the hops. For Project Lupulus, the brewers looked into optimizing the flavors of each hop variety by changing up the blend and the ratio for the hops for new Rebel IPA. Ultimately, 7 hops were chosen for the unique characteristics, including HBC 566, a Sam Adams proprietary hop variety, adds a touch of lemon/lime, orange, eucalyptus that can be found within the additional of the exclusive hop variety. HB682, the experimental hop, is used solely as a bittering hop in Rebel IPA. Impart a pleasant bitterness with a strong earthy aroma. We know what Cascade does. We know what Simcoe does. We know what Chinook does. And we know what Centennial does. And we also know what, the Mosaic. We know what all the other hops do. We know the flavors of the hops. They've been around for quite a long time. So let's go ahead and compare and contrast the two of them. First and foremost, let me give you the new Rebel IPA. Here's a look at the bottle. Got that nice little like eagle look on there. Got their new shield look on there. Got that. That is a nice looking label. This is the original. You know, it was new. It was kind of like a slap in the face for its time, especially from the Sam Adams brand. So let's go ahead and set this one back here aside. I'm going to, put it into view. Let me get in here with this and with said Rebel IPA and slide this one to the side because I mean, of course, they are the same beer, but they're not the same beer. As for look, hold this up to the light, take a look at it. Got a nice clean white background back there. Let's take this one, look at this one. I do know that they have taken out the caramel or the caramel 60 or the malt variety in this beer here. As you can see, I mean, just looking at the two of them, this one over here is darker than this one here. So with looking at the two, comparing and contrasting the two on looks, this one here is darker, this one here is lighter. They've taken out the caramel 60 in here, and they've went with just a proprietary Sam Adams two-row pale malt in this one. Very, very grassy, very herbal, very tropical. You get a lot of hop notes in this one, just in the nose. This one here, I'm just going to tell you straight up, it is a lawnmower. Just the lawnmower trippings. Uh, Grassy. Very, 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 very grassy, very earthy, very herbal. No tropical whatsoever from that beer. I'm definitely getting spicy. I'm getting herbal. I'm getting tropical fruit notes. Definitely a hint of bitterness right there up front. So let's go ahead and try this beer, shall we? Prost. Okay. Right up front, tropical fruit notes. I'm talking about mango, papaya, lychee nut, that eucalyptus that they were talking about. You got a lingering bitterness there. As an IPA goes, very tropical fruits with a hint of grassiness, a hint of herbal bitterness. I like it because of the bitterness hangs around. The tropical fruit bitterness hangs in the palate. It just sits there and lingers, and you get that kind of a hot bite from it. Um, it adds definitely something different. So let's go ahead and take a sip from this one and kind of compare it to this one. Pros. There it is again. I mean, it's two different beers here, but the same beer. There was something that was taken away from this one, and there was something added to this one. The caramel 60 that was taken away from this one here, that this one has, and the additional hop varieties, excuse me, that were added to this, the experimental hops, the HB 566 and the HB 682 that were added to this, make a world of difference. Um, if you've had this beer, try this beer. You're going to be pleasantly surprised because both of them are the same alcohol content. It is 6.5, 6.5. I mean, what's a half a percent? So you can almost call them a 7% beer or a 6% beer. But with this one, it is definitely more herbal. It's definitely more grassy. It's definitely more caramel. Um, do I mind that one? No, I don't. I mean, that was a really good IPA to me. It was more along the lines of this is how an IPA should be per the, how do I want to say this? Per the judgmental aspect. But this here is what the Americans want as an IPA, as a general IPA. I don't mean this is going to be one of those knock your socks off IPAs that are just like, okay, this is brand new. It's on the scene. I gotta have it. No, this is one of those IPAs that is going to be easy drinking. It's going to linger. The bitterness is there. The tropical fruit notes are there. The people that are now doing the experimental brewing or the test batch brewing over there at the Boston Beer Company, amazing. Good job. This is what the IPAs are leaning towards. This is what they should be. This is what they were. So with that said, I've ran way over the time that I wanted to, but this is another look at the Sam Adams Rebel IPA, man. Thanks for joining me. Peace, pros, deuce, and as always, rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys again later, man. Peace.